Okay, so before I get started, I see y'all commenting already. Lex, you tripping. What are you talking about? This music is trash. Cardi is trash. Playboi Carti is nonsensical. They don't rap on beat. They don't have no lyrics. I want to recite some lyrics from my generation that's very much considered real hip hop, classic record, right? And once I recite the lyrics, everybody from my generation is going to know exactly what hit hip hop song I'm talking about and what group I'm talking about. So here's the lyrics. Listen carefully. Bum stickety bum hun. I got that old rumpa pum pum, but I can fee fire fo diddly bum. Here I come. So Peter Piper, I'm hyper than Pinocchio's nose, cause I can supercalifragilistic tic tac toe. I gave the oopsie daisy. Now you got the crazy Drazy with the books goobly goo. Where's the Grady? So 1, 2, buckle my shoe yabadoo hibbity hoo cracker Bruce or trick or treat slam my beat. Yep, I dribbly dropped the hit. So books get on your mark and spark that old spliff shit.
What did he say?
Now, those are lyrics from the hit song They Want Effects by Das Effects. This is how Das Effects rapped, all right? And a lot of other people rap like this. Even the great Jay-Z used to rap like this. And if you don't believe me, just listen to Nas.
Boys, I rule you before you used to rap like the Fooshnickens.
All right? And here's the group Fooshnickens, another group that had hits rapping in this same kind of gibberish that didn't make any sense, but it wasn't really about the lyrics. It was about the vibe and sort of the rhyme scheme, right, pattern, even though the words didn't really make a whole lot of sense, right? It was the vibe. It was a hip-hop vibe. It was the vibe. The essence of hip-hop was there from that time. And that's what these kids, when you ask them about their music and you listen to it, you say, what do you like about this? They say it's the vibe. This is what they mean, okay? We had our vibe time with Das Effects, Fooshnickens, and that whole, everybody was rapping like this at that time, making 0 cents, okay? Everybody had at least one record where they was rapping like this, where they was putting a bunch of veiled references together that really didn't make any sense when you listen to it and you tried to make sense out of it, but it rapped, it rhymed really well, and everything was about flowing with the beat, right? Now, the Das Effects CD was one of the first CDs I ever had. I think I got that, Redman, and Ice Cube, The Predator for Christmas, right? 1992. And when I played it, my parents looked at me like I had lost my mind. And in a way, that's how we look at Playboi Carti, those of us from the classic generation of hip hop. But anyway, let's get into this album review. Playboi Carti's I Am Music. Let's go. All right, let's get into it. Album review, Playboi Carti, I Am Music. Now, like I've always said on this channel, if you watch, you know, I'm not gonna do an album review if I think the album is not good at all right? I'm never gonna trash anybody's album. I just rather not review it at all and just let it go, let somebody else review it, right? So, of course, I was gonna check the album out because Kendrick Lamar has a bunch of features. I heard that he had a bunch of features on this album a couple months ago, actually, last year, but didn't really believe it then, but of course it is true. So I checked the album, 30 tracks. Now, here's what I'll say just off the top, 30 tracks. Playboi Carti obviously is just keeping all of the records and putting them out because of streaming. A lot of times when you make albums, you know, half the tracks, half the songs that you make are scrapped. They don't make the album. I don't think Playboi Carti is doing that. I think he kept every record that he worked on with these artists because there's a lot of features on this album, and this had to be an extremely expensive album, right? I think that the whole executive producer rumor, you know, that's coming from we already know that source of that information, that Kendrick Lamar is the executive producer of this album, comes from a source that is very unreliable and problematic at best. Shout out to that source. But anyway, UMG is the executive producer of this album because this album spans too many different pricey artists and producers, right? You got Lil Uzi Vert is on at least 2 or 3 tracks, Future's on 3 tracks, Travis Scott is on 4, Kendrick is on, I believe, 3 or 4, Ty Dolla $ign, Young Thug, Skepta, all of those people are expensive. Okay, when you look at the production list, Cardio, Filthy, those are normal producers for Playboi Carti, but Cash Cobain, Kanye, Molly Raw, Metro Boomin, Mike Dean, Southside, TM88, Wheezy. So this album was expensive for sure. But I think it was versatile. That's the first good thing I can say about it. I didn't listen through every song the first time I listened to it. I skipped a couple tracks. I'm like, all right, this ain't it. But there were some good records on here. I can say that. There were some decent records. The Kendrick features, good credit. I can see that one going. Backdoor was okay. Mojo Jojo was a miss for me personally, right? You know, it sounded like something off of Baby Keem's last album, which some of those records, shout out to Baby Keem, I like Baby Keem a lot, but some of the records do miss me as far as me understanding what's going on. But as far as records that I did like and could see myself returning to, especially as far as workout music and things like that, the record Crush and Philly, both produced by Travis Scott. The Travis Scott records I didn't find too bad. The one with Future though, I didn't like that. Future just I don't get it. But that's just me. We need all the vibes with Young Thug. I like that record. Cocaine Knows, that one I think was Carti by itself. I like that record as well. One thing that confuses me, and I don't know, maybe if some of my younger subscribers can. When I first heard Carti on some of the records, I thought it was Lil Yachty. Is he like trying to sound like Lil Yachty on purpose, or, you know, I know he changes his voice a lot throughout the record. But yeah, is that Lil Yachty and he's just not saying it? Or somebody tell me, explain that to me. But Cocaine Knows is a good record. Twin Trim with Lil Uzi Vert, that one was pretty cool. Rather Live with the Weeknd, definitely like that record. The other record, that was about it. But like I said, I think he kept all the records, you know what I'm saying, for streaming purposes. 30 records is gonna be a lot of streaming revenue. Crush is the song I like the most because, and that's what you have to do, you kind of have to look at the purpose of these records. I think some of these records are just purely stage records and stadium type records, right? Or records to be performed at the different, you know, the Rolling Loud Fest, etc., right? So they're made for that big crowd. That's what a lot of these guys just make their records for. That's why they don't really concentrate on artistry and lyrics and things like that. There's not a lot of detail. Again, it's more about the vibes. And we, as the older generation, have to be honest. We had our vibe records and our vibe time where it wasn't about lyrics and people were not making a whole lot of sense in hip hop, right? We had our time, as I showed you in the intro. So in listening to this album, now am I gonna do a bunch of these kind of albums on this channel? No, I'm not. I did this one because of everything around it, and I actually sat down and listened to it a few times. Yes, all 30 tracks. And I get it. I do get it. But am I going to become a fan of Playboi Carti like that? Probably not. But I do get it. Like I said, the music does serve a purpose and it does have a place as far as working out and things like that. Now, as far as grades, I'm not going to do my normal grading system. I'll grade him on the beats. I give the beats an A. I did like a lot of the instrumentals on this record. Lyrics, and again, I grade on a curve depending on the artist. For Playboi Carti, I will give him a strong C on his lyrics, okay? That's the best I can do, all right? Everybody else, the features I would give a B+, a strong B+ on the features. I think the features definitely pick the album up, but with 30 records, you definitely would need a lot of variety, so you would need features, so to speak. So overall, I give the album a strong B-. It's a strong B- for somebody like me who is in their 40s, who is not of this cloth, so to speak, as far as hip hop is concerned. And I hear a lot of people, even Travis Scott said in one of the lyrics, as far as making hip hop look like rock. And that's really what this is. This is more like heavy metal hip hop. It's more like rock and roll hip hop, right? And for whatever reason, mainstream media, well, we kind of know why the reason is. Mainstream media doesn't want to deem it that it's just, this is like the future of rock music and heavy metal rock. It's just in the hip hop format. That's how I think we should kind of view these type of records and this kind of music and that culture in general, right? If we're just gonna look at it from that. Now, of course, the messaging is problematic. The messaging is problematic throughout all entertainment. We just have to, you have to give it up for that. But all in all, I don't have a problem with this album at all. It does what it's supposed to do. It is for who it is for. Now, again, do I think it deserved all the hype? I don't think any album should come with a lot of hype. I think that damages the listener's experience when you really hype an album up, so to speak. So I think that all the promo leading up to it is going to downgrade some of the reaction to it. But all in all, I think he executed what he wanted to do with this album. I think it's a good album for Playboi Carti. And for the younger generation, this will give them listening well throughout the next couple years, because it's 30 records. I mean, eventually some of them are going to kick up. You know how music goes. You know, people catch on late, all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to do 2 more videos about surrounding the album and the controversy. One about Kanye's comments towards Kendrick Lamar. Gonna address that, and being a Chicagoan, we're gonna address Kanye and what's going on. But also I'm gonna address Kendrick's participation in some of the controversy surrounding that, coming from people saying Kendrick is being hypocritical by being on this album. I disagree. We'll talk about that in those videos when they drop in the next couple days. The links will be at the end of this video if you're watching it after I drop it today. But if you haven't yet, just be looking for those in the next 2 days. Thank y'all for watching as always. Let me know what you think or what you thought if you listened to I Am Music by Playboi Carti, the album. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Hit that like button if you haven't hit that like button already. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Share this video. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're growing, trying to hit 15K as soon as possible. Thank y'all all for participating as always. Thank you for watching, and we out.